Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Maria Prados, Vice President and Head of Vertical Growth Teams at FIS. For Black Friday, a term synonymous with the Friday after Thanksgiving in the U.S., it traditionally marks the beginning of the holiday shopping season where stores offer highly promoted sales and discounts. Maria is here to discuss how merchants are preparing differently given the likelihood of more people shopping in store this year. Maria, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Yeah, thanks, Jill. And yes, you're right. Like this Black Friday is going to be a very different one, right? And I wanted to talk about a few examples in here. So first of all, shoppers are buying even earlier than before. And you've probably been receiving all of these Black Friday notifications for a couple of weeks already, because this year is no longer this one-day sale, but pretty much a whole month, all November, full of deals and promotions. And this all started with COVID, as you can imagine, when people could not go and buy in store. So everyone started spending online. And retailers had to reinvent what Black Friday was and turn it into a longer sales period because it's better suited for the online shopper. But then also another big difference this year is omnichannel. And this year, store footage is obviously expected to increase from last year, right? But e-commerce is not going anywhere. And anyone could say, like, hey, we've been talking about omnichannel for retail for the past 10 years. And it's kind of true. But this is really the year when having that consistent and seamless shopping experience across all of the channels is not a nice to have anymore, but it really is a must have. And then probably the last thing that I wanted to really call out, which is different this year, is the inflation that we're seeing. And then as prices go up, everyone's really looking to get the most out of their money. So we're seeing shoppers first use more installment payments with this zero interest rates. So what we call buy now, pay later payment methods, right? But they're also signing up for more loyalty programs. And they're ready to share more of their data and even their location to get these personalized offers and discounts. But it is very important to call out that they have to be personalized, right? So shoppers now really want what is relevant to them, and they're okay to give the data. So retailers now can take advantage and start collecting all of the data that they need.
Yeah, I'd noticed that a lot this year, where rewards programs are certainly being pushed more so than I can recall in years past. Did merchants prepare any differently given the likelihood of more people shopping in store this year?
So yeah, I think the important thing here is not to prepare for in-store or online sales, right? But to look at all of the channels at once and all of the interactions that your shopper is having and prepare really for a combined shopper experience. But yes, like we said, more shoppers will come to stores than last year, but those shoppers have probably done some research online, or they've even bought something online and they're coming to the store to make a change or a return. So retailers actually need to take every interaction of the shopper as this opportunity to engage with them through the content and the discounts that are relevant to them. But really, for this to happen, the in-store experience has to change. And it has been changing quite a lot, right? By becoming way more digital and using more of the technology available. And for example, some of the use cases that we're discussing with our retailers are, how can you pay anywhere in the store? So now you don't have to go and make a line when you want to pay in the store, which is very inconvenient. So you can either now receive a link on your phone and pay directly, or you can tap your card on a tablet that a sales rep has. Or another example to get over stock availability, which is a big issue at the moment as well, is to buy online while you are in the store for that specific either size or color or model that is not available that day, but then you can get it delivered home.
Are we seeing any ongoing behavior change from the pandemic in terms of consumer demand or behavior?
Yes, absolutely. And we've talked a little bit about a few, but for me, probably the biggest one that I believe is here to stay is that now consumers are really channel agnostic and they're shopping and interacting with the retailer across all of the different channels. But not only the more obvious, right, like store or online, but actually during lockdown, we started to see an increase of sales done via social media. And up to now, retailers were using social media platforms just to engage and to create loyalty with that consumer. But now the shopper doesn't want to leave that experience anymore and go and buy somewhere else. They want to buy directly from the social media platform. So even according to our newest FIS US survey on embedded finance, more than half of millennials say that they are likely to buy directly through a social media platform in the next 12 months, which is massive. And the big implication here is that retailers, like I said, can't look at social media platforms just as a marketing tool anymore. But now they need to start looking at it as an additional channel where shoppers can purchase and make it part of their omnichannel experience.
Are we seeing any generational shifts in terms of who's going to stores, such as younger shoppers staying home versus older shoppers? Because Maria, anecdotally, I was shopping with my mother last weekend. I do not recall the stores being as busy as they were even prior to the pandemic.
Yes, for sure. And there are tons of differences across generations, right? And how they interact with channels. So if we start with like older generations, they actually make a clear distinction between in-person and online shopping experiences. And although they obviously prefer in-store shopping, the pandemic has pushed them to buy more online, probably to your mom as well, right? As the high street shops closed. So now they feel way more comfortable doing so, and they're spending more online. Then if we move kind of like to the middle, the millennials, they shop in-store and online equally. And they were born going with their parents to the mall or to the high street shops. And then they were given this online shopping. And we were seeing it as like new fun, exciting tool, actually quite convenient. And now they use it equally to shop. But then the younger generations come, like Gen Z, who are the digital natives. And they don't think of the world in these like binary terms. So actually pre-pandemic, many actually preferred to shop in store. But post-pandemic, they're looking for shopping experiences that blur the lines between online and offline. And they're constantly like changing and switching between brick and mortar, online, social media, mobile apps.
And finally, looking ahead to Cyber Monday and the rest of the holiday season, what can we expect?
Yeah, so despite the not so great macro situation, consumers are still planning on spending about the same or even more than last year over the holidays, which is great news, right? But retailers need to adapt to these new ways of shopping to get it right. And that is not easy. Like we've said, there's a lot happening. So most importantly, omnichannel experiences with the new role of the stores and the new channels like social media, but also like really important, that personalization. How do you offer the shopper those relevant deals and relevant ways to interact and buy? But with all this change, we really can't expect retailers to know it all, right? Hence, my recommendation is always to partner with experts on each field. And we're already seeing that. We're seeing that retailers are more and more leaning on technology partners to improve their shopping experience. So yes, I think it's going to be a great holiday season and quite an interesting one because we will see which retailers get most things right for the shopper and come out as the clear winners.
All right, Maria, appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.